Kingsport, Johnson City, Bristol, Tennessee. This is Stereo, WKPT-TV 19.
Coming up next on Newswatch, first edition.
We've got bowling day going on all day. I think the 3-on-3 basketball started today.
FunFest 88 kicks off with a Mardi Gras parade and festival. We'll have exclusive live coverage.
The newspaper's insinuating that Eastman's having something to do with harassment and...
Bluff City Mayor Billy Wells denies his suspension from his job at Eastman has anything to do with sexual harassment charges, and we'll meet the candidates for State Senate from District Number 2.
This is WKPT Television's Newswatch First Edition.
Good evening. Welcome to Newswatch First Edition. Kingsport's 8th annual FunFest celebration is off to an unforgettable start with the Mardi Gras Festival going on at Glen Bruce Park. And this year, for the first time ever, Newswatch will be bringing you consistent live coverage of FunFest 88, and we will continue our live reports on local news events long after the celebration is over. Right now, John Cleary is standing by at Glen Bruce Park with a live update on this year's FunFest kickoff event. John, what's going on out there?
Well, if you look behind me, you can tell there's a huge crowd. And any day when you go to a FunFest event like this, especially Mardi Gras, food plays a big part. And I made a trip down the food alley, as they call it here. 60 pounds of shrimp, 100 pounds of rice have been served here today, over 400 Cajun sandwiches, 300 servings of Cajun rice dishes, and 250 slices of pecan pie for the calories. And right now, we want to talk with Peggy Turner, DKA Director, and coming up in just a few minutes, we're going to have an employee costume concert, correct?
Right. There are lots of costumes floating around, and if you didn't know better, you'd think you were in New Orleans for Mardi Gras.
What type of activities and what type of categories?
Well, they're going to be judged on the judge's favorite, the most original adherence to the Mardi Gras theme, that type of thing.
Okay, Peggy, we'll be talking with you again in just a few minutes. Right now, we're going to take a look at some of the activities that were taking place here today and a preview of the upcoming events. Several hundred people gathered this afternoon in downtown Kingsport to officially kick off this year's 1988 FunFest. FunFest officials, along with this year's King and Queen, were also on hand to help launch the balloons, which signaled the official start of the 9-day event. The Mardi Gras Festival at Glen Bruce Park is just the beginning.
We've got bowling day going on all day. I think the 3-on-3 basketball started today. Softball starts today. So there's activities going all over the place. J.P. Stevens having their mini rodeo today, as well as their horse show tonight. So just everything's going on. Go by and get a schedule at the Civic Auditorium. There's several things going on today.
Among the activities at the Mardi Gras included a bead throwing contest, as well as music by To the Max. There were costume contests for the young ones, and lots of food was also available. Little Miss FunFest was enjoying the day and invited everyone out for tomorrow night's pageant.
Well, FunFest is a fun time, and I'm just about to give my title up. Tomorrow, I give my title up at 3 o'clock in Dobbins Bennett Little Theater, and I give it to a new little girl. I would like to invite you all to come.
Miller also said tonight's performance by the Tennessee Children's Dance Ensemble should be exciting.
It's a very, very good show. It's a group of kids that are professional dancers, and they come all the way up here from Knoxville. They travel all over the country. If people want to go to that, I would recommend they go on over there. They can purchase a ticket over there at the door, and it's for 50 cents. It's a great event.
Next week, more musical entertainment gets underway with Showtime 88, starting Monday with another show on Tuesday. Check your FunFest brochures for the rest of the FunFest activities. You can tell that there are lots of activities that have already taken place and lots of activities that will be taking place. And at 6:30, Peggy, we're going to see some clogging down here, correct?
Yes, the country cloggers are going to, instead of doing a country routine, are going to break from that and do Dixieland jazz routine. So that should be fun and fits right in with their Mardi Gras theme.
Peggy Turner, thank you very much. Peggy Turner with Downtown Kingsport Association. Mark, you should come on down.
Well, I would love nothing more than to come on down, but unfortunately there are a few more items that we have to get to on this this newscast here. Thank you very much, John.
We'll be talking to you later.
Okay. Well, there are a few more stories in the news today. Mayor Billy Wells, for instance, is declining to comment on his recent suspension from the Tennessee Eastman Company. Although he is back on the job, Wells says he is continually being harassed. Wells, who works in a print shop at the Eastman, confirmed he was off from work for several days, but will not comment on the circumstances.
I'm an Eastman employee, and Eastman has a system. They have spokespeople that talk for Eastman, so I can't talk for Eastman. And anything concerning personnel or people, then we have public relations, and that's their job.
Well, Tennessee Eastman Company officials say their policy not to comment on personal matters, even though Billy Wells is a public figure. Sullivan County Sheriff investigators are on the lookout for a white male who robbed a Bloomingdale bank yesterday afternoon. Authorities say a man in his early 20s walked into the First Tennessee Bank on Bloomingdale Pike and then fled with an undetermined amount of money. Investigators say they have located what appears to be the getaway vehicle. The suspect is described as 5'7" tall and approximately 150 pounds. A proposed prison facility in Greene County has not been ruled out. Reports that the county would not be the site of the state prison were disproved today. And as Sarah Pope reports, as a prison is built in East Tennessee, if it is, it won't be without a fight.
State Correction Commissioner Steve Norris paid Greene County a visit today, hoping to ease residents' fears of having a prison located in the area. He says there's a lot of misinformation about prisons and that they are largely misunderstood, but they can have a substantial impact on the area.
I think it do some pretty healthy things. One, prisons are a pretty clean industry. We tend not to pollute the environment. Two, the payroll for a prison of this size is about $10 million a year. They're recession-proof jobs. If there's an economic downturn, you don't close prisons. You have to continue to operate them.
Governor Ned McWhorter has said that no prison will be built in a community where it's not wanted, and it seems that residents are solidly against its construction.
We will continue to work day and night as we've been doing over the last few weeks until we get the governor's attention and he understands that we don't want the prison, and he holds to what I understand is his promise, which is that if we don't want it, we won't have to have it.
Residents are concerned about the possibility of escapees, early parolees settling in the area, and a decrease in property values. There are 10,000 people in the Baileyton area within radius of the proposed prison site, but it's a county-wide opposition to the construction of the facility. And officials say if a prison is built here, a cooperative decision must be made by September 1st. On the Newswatch in Greene County, Sarah Pope, WKPT News.
Thanks to the Watchful Eye of an environmental group, Northeast Tennessee can now have a better control of its hazardous waste materials. The Tennessee Environmental Council works closely with other watchdog groups to make sure local industries and businesses dispose of waste properly. The Advocate Group works closely with local committees to better inform them about recycling waste.
We see recycling as a top priority in solid waste management, and there are a number of things that we're doing in the area to promote and educate people on the necessity of recycling and to promote it as a valid solid waste management tool.
The council also handles groundwater waste issues along with several other environmental concerns. The Hawkins County Industrial Development Board has approved the sale of a 4-acre site at Phipps Bend to a metal finishing business. The decision came last night, meaning a deal could be finalized by next month. MIS Incorporated plans to construct a 16,500 square foot building at the industrial site, which would employ about 25 workers. MIS would be the first company to locate in Phipps Bend. Well, the race is on for state representative of Kingsport, the 2nd District, and as Sonia McFarlane explains, the 3 candidates seeking the Republican nomination are with 3. The August 4th race should be a close race.
Wayne Anderson, a sergeant with 14 years of police service, has strong opinions concerning the punishment criminals receive, calling the state's work release program the walk release program. He supports a consolidated government in Sullivan County.
I lean toward the concept of consolidation because I feel it brings all the governments together. And that's one thing that I feel we need in Sullivan County.
Bob Ammons, who has served on the Sullivan County Commission for 16 years, says Kingsport needs to encourage industrialization in the area.
An example of how this may be achieved is to encourage 181, Interstate 181, to be Interstate 26. Or the Appalachian Corridor. This would make east-west, north-south crossroad right here.
Alan Hubbard, a 2-term Kingsport city alderman, is opposed to a state lottery and a state income tax.
I think one of the things that makes us attractive, Tennessee, attractive to so many new businesses moving is our lack of a income tax on unearned income. And I think that's proper, and we should try to avoid it at all costs.
Rita Grosclose, a county commissioner since 1986, is on the Democratic ticket, but she is unopposed in the primary. She's in favor of stricter punishment for criminals.
Too many times the victim is forgotten about, and of course we do not evidently issue severe enough punishment. I don't think we'd have as much crime. Of course,
the race will be decided next Thursday in the August 4th election. On the Newswatch in Kingsport, I'm Sonia McFarlane for WKPT News.
Well, the first day of FunFest 88 has been marked by hot temperatures and partly cloudy skies, but it was warm and a wonderful kickoff today for the Mardi Gras Festival at Glen Bruce Park. Now, that's where Francis is standing by live right now. Let's go out to Francis. And Francis, what does it look like out there for the rest of the weekend?
Oh, if the rest of the weekend is as hot as today is, boy, everybody's going to have to get some personal fans to take with them everywhere they go for FunFest. It's great out here, Mark. I'm going to have the forecast, you know, here in just a few minutes.
They'll be the judges. What are our criteria?
Well, it is hot out here. I'm using a lot of tissue and a lot of fanning going on out here. I can see others doing the same thing. Hey, it's been hot around the whole area today. Temperature-wise right now, what we're looking at is a reading of 91 in Knoxville as well as in Roanoke and out at Tri-Cities Airport, too. We're going to see highs probably up to around 95 degrees for most of the weekend. 78, a cool 78 in Asheville with a thunderstorm at this hour, and London Corbin has 89 degrees. For the low last night out at Tri-Cities, we were down to 66. The high this afternoon was the 91-degree reading we currently have. We've had no precipitation, of course, and we are still behind normal for this time of year. Humidity, 30% at this hour. Barometer is 30.24 and falling, and the winds currently are from the south at 5 miles per hour, so that means virtually no winds, and it's going to be virtually calm winds throughout much of the weekend, too. So hot, hazy, humid, typical summertime, end of July, northeast Tennessee weather. That's what we're having for FunFest. Across much of the nation today, as you'll see here on the map, it has been a rather clear day. Some clouds there across much of the Central Plains and Mississippi Valley and some rain showers in that area, but basically it has been calm from the Pacific coast to the Atlantic coast and from the Gulf Coast back up to the Great Lakes. Tonight on the map, most areas are basically influenced by high pressure. And it's a very large ridge of high, which is now dropped down to the South Atlantic. That means we'll have more moisture coming in over the next few days for that reason. Humidities will be pretty high. We'll see some early morning patchy fog, too. And the chance of afternoon, noon, and evening thunderstorms because of the heating and the humidity, that will increase also. So, well, again, like I say, we're looking for typical summertime weather. For the temperatures today around the nation, again, it's hot everywhere. We're heating back up. It had been moderate on that map this afternoon. We're looking at 100-degree readings for much of the desert Southwest, 90s for the bulk of the United States. Now, as for tomorrow morning, what we should be waking up to here in Kingsport and surrounding areas, excuse me while I towel off a second, high humidity still hanging, or high pressure rather, still hanging on, and humidity levels pretty good with some clouds rolling in by afternoon, and that could make for some scattered showers. That's for the forecast tonight. We are looking for basically fair weather overnight with warm temperatures. Lows in the mid-60s. Tomorrow highs in the lower 90s with sunshine all day, and some scattered showers late tomorrow night. Lows then should be in the mid-60s. For Southwest Virginia, practically the same outlook for you. Mostly sunny tomorrow. Highs tomorrow anywhere from 91 to 93 degrees. Otherwise partly cloudy and maybe scattered showers, so be prepared. Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday look the same each day also. Highs anywhere from 90 to 95 each day, and scattered showers will be possible. Mark?
Well, thank you very much, Fran, and find yourself a cool place, and we'll be joining you later on, especially when we go out there to provide you with live coverage of the FunFest Parade, which begins at 7 o'clock. We'll be back with more news after this. Helping the needy is a basic premise behind the Carpenters Helpers Ministry. The year-old organization is part of the First Broad Street United Methodist Church's community services. Volunteers from the congregation provide free housing repairs for low-income families.
That's the one. The group that's working here today is all have been involved in this in times past and know what they can get from it as well as what the families get from it. So basically we felt like the need was here, and we felt that God led us to be here.
If you feel qualified for assistance, contact the United Methodist Church in Kingsport and they can help you. Well, people taking fish oil pills to lower their cholesterol may be in for a rude awakening. As Dr. Dean Adele explains, these pills can actually raise cholesterol levels.
While sociologists debate the whys of breast implant surgery in this era of feminism, doctors are seeing mounting evidence of serious side effects. One theory says that small amounts of silicone may seep from the implant into the surrounding tissue, where they cause autoimmune problems. And the latest report may be the most frightening of all, relating silicone implants and scleroderma. This is scleroderma, a tightening, almost mummification of the skin and internal organs. The new report found that almost 5% of a group of scleroderma patients had had breast implant surgery. Compare that to the number of implants among a group of patients with a closely related disease, rheumatoid arthritis. Only 0.3% of those had had breast implants. That certainly seems to imply that there may be something going on here. And this isn't the first report to explore the possible side effects of silicone breast implants. But this report went one step further, saying that one of the patient's symptoms improved after her implants were surgically removed. Now, even with that evidence, nobody is recommending that women, even women with scleroderma, have their implants taken out. But it is worth a caveat. Anytime you have surgery, you risk side effects, and even the FDA is getting interested in the side effects of silicone breast implants. So it's up to you to make sure that you don't sacrifice safety for shapeliness. I'm Dr. Dean Adele.
Dr. Dean Adele is brought to you by Holston Valley Hospital and Medical Center. No matter who's doing the choosing, we're the right choice.
Well, obviously, we had the wrong Dr. Dean Adele queued up. We apologize for that. Well, sports is up next.
I could probably use that on one of my special segments today. On deck, we've got first-round action from Ridgefields, plus the Freaks of the Week. Sports is next on Newswatch, First Edition. Of the prestigious Ridgefields Invitational Golf Tournament is almost complete. Bruce Barkley began filming Caddyshack 3 at the golf course today. About a third of the golfers are still out on the course, and the clubhouse leader is Porter Smith, who fired a sizzling 3-under par 69. But the big story today was Jeff Gallagher. He had a hole-in-one on number 5 that helped him to a 2-under par 70. Mike Poe, Ricky Hudson, Jim Dill, and Wendell Davis all shot 71s, with Jeff Coppinger at 1 over 73. Terry Labonte led the second round of qualifying at Talladega today. The Budweiser Chevrolet's time, 190.967 miles per hour. Rusty Wallace, then Jimmy Means, Eddie Bierswell, and Rick Wilson. Richard Petty was 34th. Darrell Waltrip grabbed the pole position yesterday, with fellow Tennessean Sterling Marlin joining him on the front row. Vanderbilt center Will Perdue is close to signing a 5-year, $2.5 million contract with the Chicago Bulls. Perdue was the Bulls' first-round draft pick. Chicago Bears wide receiver Willie Gault is now an L.A. Raider. He was traded to the Raiders last night for a first-round draft pick next season, plus a conditional pick in 1989. Gault, of course, is a former Tennessee star. And today we begin a new feature here on Newswatch Sports called The Freaks of the Week, the unusual, the unique, and the outstanding from the world of sports. Cincinnati's Eric Davis is our star attraction this week. Pascual Perez fools him with the eephus pitch, but Davis would rather miss 1,000 eephus lobs than take a fastball in that spot. Oh, the pain. That's enough to make a man consider early retirement. When you view it in slow motion, it almost looks like Davis took one in the groin on purpose. He's now wearing a steel cup. The Giants and Cardinals don't like each other, so they turn the baseball diamond into WrestleMania 5. The Cards do a 4-on-1 against Will Clark until Candy Maldonado takes Ozzie Smith out. Ozzie took one on the chops. And check out number 25, Mike Aldrete. Hulk Hogan would have been proud of that flying headbutt. The best throw of the week, Pittsburgh's Andy Van Slyke guns down John Shelby. Don't run on Van Slyke, he's got a howitzer. The worst throw, you can take your pick. Eddie Murray uncorked a souvenir for the fans behind home plate. Larry Owen showed perfect form, but you forgot the ball, Larry. And George Bell got a few laughs for that throw that allowed the winning run to score. Manager Jimmy Williams didn't think it was funny. Bell doesn't want to DH because his defense assures him a spot on the Freaks of the Week. There were some great catches this week. Ellis Burks with a diving grab. And Devon Wipe will leap high above the wall to take the home run away and save the game against the White Sox. There were plenty of near misses. How about the Reds' Cal Daniels? The Rangers' Pete Incaviglia, and the Dodgers' Mike Marshall. Sean Dunston says, coming up, I got it. Pardon the English, but He don't got it, but he does get the runner. Yeah. The Cardinals are known for their speed, but leaving your shoes behind, third baseman Terry Pendleton did that. This security guard's sole responsibility was to keep the fans out of the way. Now, what was he doing on the field? The Dodgers' Jeff Hamilton wants to know. Bo Jackson is having a good year, but he strikes out a lot. He then warms up for his winter job with the LA Raiders by banging his head on the dugout. And the best slide of the week, the White Sox' Ozzie Guillen looks like he was trying to go under the bag. And we don't have time for the rest of it, but we'll have it again next Friday.
All right, thank you, Bob. We'll be back with more of FunFest 88 coverage right after this.
At Long John Silver's, we're forecasting.
Officials made their network television debut this morning. A special promo taped earlier this month ran on this morning's Good Morning America.
I'm David Blankenship at FunFest 88 in Kingsport, Tennessee. Good morning, America!
Oh, another rabbit in there, I think. I missed exactly what animal that was. Good morning, everyone. I'm Charles Gibson.
Well, apparently Charlie wasn't briefed that rabbit is actually Cleaneroo, the kangaroo. Well, we're going to be going back now to John Cleary at the Glen Bruce Park and see what he has to say about the activities out there. John, what's going on out there?
Right now, we're just about an hour away from the FunFest Parade, and we're going to be speaking with Barbara Guy, this year's parade director, which is being sponsored by Holston Valley Hospital and Medical Center. Barbara?
Yes, John, we're delighted to be here. The momentum mounts, tension is building, and the fun is just everywhere. Our parade is the 5th parade. We have over 125 entrants. Our parade route will begin at the corner of Clay and Center. We'll march down Center to Cherokee, turn left on Cherokee, move up Cherokee to Sullivan, come around Sullivan down here to Broad Street, and from Broad Street we'll go off on New.
Okay, you've done a great job on it. Holston Valley's done a wonderful job, and we look forward to being downtown.
Thank you, John. Look forward to seeing you.
Thanks for joining us. Mark, that's about it for here, and we'll be looking for you at the FunFest Parade.
All right, will you leave me some of that food out there because I'm on my way down.
I'll do it, and it is good, and it's hot, too.
All right, thank you very much, John. Well, that is our news tonight. We want to thank you for joining us. Be sure to join Tim Waller tonight at 11 o'clock when he'll be bringing you up to date on all the day's events. Current Affairs is next, followed by ABC World News Tonight at 6:30. That's our news. Good night.